Record. So what is up, guys? This is our second week of our men's Zooms. I am Johnny. I'm a diamond leader with It Works. And tonight we are going to be talking with Dan, Mr. Pearson. The guy has got some gems for you guys. So definitely, I am super pumped for this. So yeah. If you guys have a notepad, I would definitely recommend getting a notepad out, writing down your notes. Because that's how we learn here, and we're all here for the same purpose. We're all here for the common purpose of either helping ourselves, helping our significant others, whatever it possibly is, grow in this business, and we're all trying to go to the top. We all want to be on stage next year. That's the goal. So
yeah, that would be nice, right? That
is
nice.
We're going to speak
so, yeah, hey, I'm Daniel Pearson, Triple Diamond with It Works. I've been in the business now for about 5 years with my wife, and as Johnny stated, I was the reason we got involved in this. I have been in and around businesses most of my life. My parents have always had businesses, and so I guess that's maybe where I get it from. I saw what the Raps did, and it was a no-brainer. Like, holy crap, we can sell this. I mean, who isn't going to want this? You know, because we live in the day and age where people want stuff, and they want stuff like yesterday. Yeah. So. You know, and how many diet pills are out there that get bought every single day, you know, and half of them are just stuffed full of God only knows what sort of fillers, you know, and they're really not great, but they get bought, and they get bought a lot, because people want instant results. We just live in that society. You know, we want stuff, we want it like yesterday. So yeah, I saw the results that at the time my girlfriend had, and I was blown away. I said, let's do this. And she's definitely a type A personality. She's a red, but she's also very shy as well. So she's got quite a bit of yellow in her. And she was like, oh, I'm not sure. I don't want to sell anything. I'm not into selling. And obviously we got involved, and we realized that it's not so much about selling and just more about building relationships and things like that. And my role in this as such has always been more of a supporting role, from a front of house standpoint, i.e. blitzing people or talking to customers, things of that nature. I've always been more, what can I help with, say, reporting, or what can I help with, say, training the team, doing team trainings, things like that. That is really a lot of what I do. And the supporting role, because and you know, a lot of the time, you know, we kind of wanted to do a Zoom just because a lot of guys, you'd be relatively new, and you're like, well, how do I help out? You know, what do I need to do? And if you're a guy that has a significant other that's doing this, more of the front of house, one of the things you can do, who knows if you're doing this or not, but one of the things that helps the most is just not moaning at them, not getting on their case, allowing them to be head in their phone all the time, and things of that nature, just getting on with business. And I know, you know, it's very easy to look at this as, oh, it's a scam. Where's this really going to go? Are you ever going to earn any money? Because there are so many different at-home businesses where people don't earn that much money, and they spend a ton of time and don't really get anywhere with it. So one of the things, support can literally be not saying anything and just allowing them to put their head down and run. You know, so that's a big thing. So if that's you, if you're guilty of that, then that will be a huge help. It's not necessarily that you need to, you know, be out blitzing or doing parties with your wife and really doing stuff that you feel really uncomfortable with. You know, you kind of find your groove. If you obviously are a personality more like Johnny's, then of course you're going to want to do front of house. The person, I mean, actually, he just gets drawn to it. He loves it. That's him. But if you're not, and you're maybe more of an analytical numbers guy, things like that, you might be really better suited in allowing your wife to do the front of house kind of stuff, and you to do the numbers, and you to do the reports, and maybe understanding the compensation plan, you know, front to back. Because I know a lot of people in this business, they just haven't got time for it. You know, they don't even look at it. And then that helps with when your team has questions about the compensation plan, some of those nitty gritty questions that say, your girlfriend or wife doesn't necessarily know, you can help out and you can train and do the team side of things. So, I mean, as far as helping, it can be, talks about the charting, things like that. If you don't know what that is, then you could always ask, hey, is there anything, can I help with charting? She will be over the moon that you asked. Talking to the team, getting to know them. It really, really helps the team, when they hear from you, the guy, the significant other. That's really, really helpful, because what that does is then when your team's girlfriends and wives, their boyfriends and husbands have questions, it doesn't feel as, because the new team member can be like, well, her husband's here if you need, if you've got questions, you want to talk to him, and it's just like, oh, he is. Sometimes that's all it takes. It's like, oh, there's another guy doing this. Oh, okay. And that can literally be as small as that. Now you can, if you wish, you can go out blitzing. And sometimes a great technique of blitzing is you go out and you be like, you're blitzing people, handing out business cards and you're handing out coupons. Sorry, we don't really call them. We call them coupons because that's, pretty much what they are. But you can go out handing out coupons, and, anybody you bump into, you can be like, hey, I've been given these and I have to give them out to everyone. My wife told me I can't come home until I've given them all out. That type of stuff, and just go out and give them all out. And it's just an excuse, because then you're not targeting anybody because you think, oh, you need this. It's just, hey, my wife told me to give these out to anybody, so boom, 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 type thing. A really big thing, time-wise, is any way that you can give her extra time, i.e. take things away from her day that would otherwise take up her time. Obviously, that does come down to kids and housework a lot of the time, and chores and running errands and things like that. And obviously, I know for some that's an area where that might be, for some guys, a hit with the pride. But don't let it be. Don't let it be, because this can be huge. And if you're not the type of person that has that personality that really feels they can jump into this and do it yourself as a guy running it, then there's no shame at all in taking up the role of helping out, because that's just playing it smart. You're playing to your strengths. If your strength isn't front of house, like I know mine isn't, Jess is fantastic at it. So I'm like, you're going to do that, I'll do the other stuff. And it works. If you're in a team, that's what works. You pick the parts that you're the best at, and you allow each, player to play those roles. Or what can sometimes happen is, you by not taking up the slack and doing your part, your other teammate is going to be left with too much, and they can't do everything. They just burn out. They can't do everything. So yeah, housework and looking after kids is a big one, because that's a huge time zapper for most people.
I agree with you. I kind of end up doing, it's kind of a combination for Natalie and I. She won't let me handle the numbers. She's like, no, those numbers are mine. I'm handling the numbers. But she handles the numbers. She loves doing the charting. Although we do bicker about the charting, but other than that, I mean, I like going live. I like being the person that's in the spotlight, that's on the camera. I like being loud. I like being assertive. It fires me up to fire other people up. That's me. It does. That's not her. So we do, just like what you said, you play off each other's strengths. She gets up, she handles the training with the team for the most part. Like, she's getting the screenshots. She's the one, like, yeah, of course I get some screenshots and I do help, and we're in a lot of three-way conversations and whatnot. But for the most part, she handles a lot. She takes on that more, she takes on a bigger role. So what do? Like, I go grocery shopping. But I, again, use it into my strengths. I go grocery shopping, like in recent, we got to go to the post office. I run to the post office. I go and I run to the bank. I do stuff like that. But I love blitzing people. I can't blitz people sitting at the house. If she's out doing it, she doesn't really care to blitz people. I've got to be out. So I kind of take it upon myself to do stuff like that. I do make her do the laundry. I'm not even going to lie. No. No, she won't let me do the laundry.
There's some things, right? Yeah, you don't. Yeah, there's some things you can't touch. Yeah.
No, there's like 3 things that she ain't letting me touch. She's like, you ain't touching our volume. You ain't touching the laundry. And what was
yeah.
pretty much it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's like, yeah, she loves it. She likes responding to screenshots. She's the word wizard. I mean, you understand that. Jess is a word wizard as well. So yeah.
And I think, you know what, though, at the same time, I could, because if this Zoom had been years ago, I'd have been like, I'm not getting on a Zoom. I'm not talking in front of a camera. But you grow as well within this, with me talking to the team and things like that. Other things come easier. So you might not be in that role now, but by just being a supportive role in maybe 6 months or a year's time, who knows where you might be. And then you're doing more and more and you brought into it. So just doing that supporting role, you don't have to necessarily look at it as, I'm not helping. You are helping massively by doing that. You don't have to be helping with the team to be helping out. And then, as I say, you will grow with this, and slowly but surely start doing some of the things that you thought you'd never do before. Never discount anything. And if you are brand spanking new and your girlfriend or wife said, hey, there's this video I need you to watch tonight. These guys are going to be doing this video. You've got to jump on. As far as opportunity goes, like, you could not be in a more golden place. We have a product. I mean, obviously we have a lot of products, but we have one product that no other company ever has. And as far as Goldmine goes, that's pretty much at it, and it's a product that pretty much every woman on the face of this earth wants, and an awful lot of guys too, so it's a very, very cool spot to be in. So I get the skepticism. I completely understand that, because I was a little bit skeptical, certainly about the product, because when Jess brought it home and we were talking about it, I'm like, yeah, it's just another one of those things, just, whatever. But believe you me, our lives are completely changed. I'm currently doing this Zoom from inside my RV. We bought it 3.5 years ago, and we've been traveling the country ever since. And that's all because of It Works. Because before that, we were pretty broke. We certainly didn't have the cash to splash out on an RV. We bought a fifth wheel and a truck to tow it. We didn't have, that was a dream. For me, coming from the UK, that was a dream. Seeing the West Coast and seeing westerns and things like that, it was a dream to do that sort of stuff. And it's all been made possible. Again, if you'd have said to me 5-6 years ago, you will have the funds and the choices, more importantly the choices, that those funds offer you, I wouldn't have believed you. But this can offer that. So if you're relatively new to this, or if you've been in it, maybe only a few months and you've not quite got the bug yet, please understand that this is phenomenal. So, if you were dragged onto this, just not nagging at them can help enormously. And if that's you, and I know nobody's going to be like putting their hands up like, yeah, that's me, I'm a pain in the ass, but if that's you, it can help them out so much, because once that little nagging gets into the ear, it's really, really easy to throw off somebody's enthusiasm. And in the beginning, in this business, that's the most useful tool you've got, is that, enthusiasm, just an idiot on fire running around like this is the best thing since sliced bread, that enthusiasm, is very easy to kill that and dull that with, a significant other sort of chirping away.
Especially when, if you guys are in that supportive role and you're not working this business, I do want to tell you there's a lot of negativity thrown your way. So the last thing they need is somebody that's actually throwing that negativity at them as well, from a significant other point of view. If you work the business as a guy, you definitely understand this. We get told no a lot, and that's the nature of the business. The most successful people in this business have failed their ways to the top. You've been told. The difference between me and the difference between Dan is Dan has probably been told no 100,000 more times than me. The difference between Dan and maybe an ambassador that's on the top of the stage is they've been told no a different amount of times, and that's it. That's the only difference. But you deal with negative people. We deal with negative people, and as a significant other, again, like how Dan said, you guys are a team. So as a team, you've got to really make sure that no matter what, you are putting your focus in on doing whatever you can to make it easy, because I will tell you, I mean, shit, in a year, we've really we've completely replaced our income, and we work from home now, and we did that in 7 months. And it's one of those things where if I would have been negative, if I would have been like not really behind her and supportive, I would probably still be working in the clubs right now. I'd still be managing clubs. I'd be working 80 hours a week. I wouldn't have that ability to be at home working this, doing this full time. So it's one of those things where, you know, if you just that little bit of extra support, if you can, you know, pick the kids up or whatever it possibly is, you'd be surprised at that an extra hour a day, what that actually will do for your business and for your wife's business.
Oh yeah, just an hour a day can make a huge difference. And like a power hour as such, where they can really get down and grind the business, can help out enormously. Yeah, for sure. So if there are any questions, feel free to throw them in the chat, and you know, we'll read them off. So actually, let me get somewhat of a show of hands on who is a guy that's running this sort of front of house. You know, you can type it in the comment. You can kind of just put your hand up, all that sort of jazz.
I'm like halfway here. Like, I do things that I don't. But I work it. That's the main thing.
Cool beans. Oh, and Stephen, your daughter, I can't really tell. Pretty damn cute. Yeah. Nice. Pimp that baby out.
Pimp that baby. Yeah. You need to give the baby some blitz cards. Have them run around the park and just pass them out to everybody.
Take it out in the pram, in the stroller.
For sure.
If you went blitzing in a stroller with the baby, I'll tell you what, it'd be a knockout. Okay, so that means that the vast majority of guys on this are more in the supportive role, because there weren't anywhere near as many hands, you know, went up that there is people here. So obviously, sorry guys, if you are more front of house, this maybe isn't the absolute most brilliant Zoom for you. So I apologize, but this is always good to know, because this is information that you can pass on, you know. So it may not strike a chord with you, but it hopefully is useful information that you can pass down, because believe you me, there are a lot less of you out there than there are the others. So you're always going to run into that. So
that's the truth. That is definitely the truth.
Yes. So okay, let me just see. There was a couple of questions came in.
Question: we both work it. I do both.
Great. Yep. What similar to? Sounds like I'm
looking to.
Yeah.
So Dan,
need an It Works onesie for your son. You do need an It Works onesie for sure.
I agree.
Yeah,
I definitely agree. Do you want to touch on because just in my personal opinion, obviously you're very, very brilliant with marketing. You understand marketing, which is definitely a big positive to one of the main reasons why I definitely did want to have you on here, because you understand both sides of it. You know, you definitely understand both sides of it. And I feel you and Jess do definitely kill attraction marketing. But can you touch on some of your business tips?
I would love to.
Yeah,
absolutely. So, as far as, and this will help everybody out, and this is information you can pass on. We believe in attraction marketing. And by that, I mean, being hunted rather than the hunter. And by that, I mean customers and potential distributors coming to us asking us questions, than us having to go out and find people. Obviously, what that does is that helps, because it's a massive, one of the most time-consuming things in this business is searching for potentials. You know, that zaps so much time. So that doesn't leave you time to be planting seeds and chatting to people and planting those thoughts and those seeds about products or about the business, or working with your team. You know, because as you grow, your team will start to take up a lot more of your time, and it's very you don't want to go into what's called management mode, where you're mainly dealing with the team and you're not able to build your own business, because you need to constantly be pulling people in, you know, customers and distributors, constant turnover of customers and distributors to your business. So if you can find ways to streamline that by doing attraction marketing, That helps massively. So that one of the ways to do that is to start to become a brand, your own brand. You're already a brand. You know, your name is a brand. You know, it might mean a lot to some, it might mean nothing to others. The more it means to the more people, the better it is. You know, of course, it's because you want to be somebody that somebody's talking about wraps and they think of you. You know, that's to build your brand and building your reputation and things like that. So it's a really important role with that, because then again, of course, with that, people are thinking of you and you might get referrals without even realizing it. People are coming to you, hey, I heard you sell those wraps, or can you tell me more? Another way of doing it online is being incredibly social. Social media, if you use social media to build your business, which even if you do this face-to-face, you should be using at least one platform, you know, one social media platform to help with that. Because here's the great thing about, I mean, we mostly do Facebook, but here's the great thing about Facebook. You meet somebody face-to-face in an event, the second you leave, that person forgets you. But with the beauty of Facebook, if you become Facebook friends, you don't even have to necessarily interact with them a huge amount for you to be able to basically, in essence, advertise to them time and time again. And we call that dripping on people, you know, those adverts. That's why, you know, and time again, over and over again. And then it keeps you in their mind. So if they hear about the wraps, if they get invited to a wrap party, you know, you're the first person they think of, and they hopefully just message you. Because that's the other thing. If you are breaking the ice by just building relationships and chit-chatting to them, it's very, very easy for them people to cross that, you know, barrier of contacting you. If you haven't broke the ice, it's a lot harder. It's no different from when we were dating. You know, if that initial introduction has already been done by you or by a friend or something like that, it's like, it's a different game. It's so much easier. It's that initial like is hard. So that's what potentials are always going to be like with you. You know, they might be watching your stuff and thinking, wow, those wraps, they look great. But if you reach out to them and just talk to them about something completely random, completely off topic, not it works related in the least, a lot of the time they'll reach back out to you, you know, in their reply, hey, I've been meaning to contact you. Can you tell me more about blah, blah, blah? That happens a lot. It's a really, really great way. So, you know, obviously the alternative is cold messaging, which is the old sales technique. And does it work? Sure. But do you have to message like 500 people a day? Yeah. And who's got time for that? Because then you've got time for nothing else. Like call centers. Call centers do work, but they work purely on volume. You know, and so it's not that doesn't work, just there are smarter ways of doing it. And just by being social with people online, because at the end of the day, social media is to be social on. You know, it wasn't made, the platform isn't set up to sell on. You know, it's set up to be social. So if you're social with people, then that really, really helps with, again, breaking that ice, you know, breaking that barrier so that people will reach out to you. Of course, not every time, you know, you are going to need to warm them up and turn them into from a cold message, a cold contact into like, you know, a warm contact. And you will to some extent need to use, you know, judgment and gut feeling when to approach something with somebody, you know, but even if you reach out too soon and they don't reply or they don't anything, it's all right, not the end of the world. As long as they didn't delete you, you know, you can keep on sort of just every now and again interacting with them, you know, things like that. And as long as your message to them was, say you're talking about the business, you can always do it in a, you are, oh, what's the word, Jess? What am I looking for? Compliment. So you go into it with a compliment. You know what? I've been watching you for a little bit. I think you'd be amazing for what I do. Somebody gets a compliment like that, they're not going to be like, oh, F you, delete, you know. Well, I mean, you know, most sane people are not going to, you know, jump like that. But it's a great way to approach somebody who is maybe not like a really, really close, you know, it's a great way to, if they say a lukewarm, to contact them. And if you don't get a reply from them, it's not the end of the world. Still be social with them in, you know, in the sense that you may like on some of their stuff and maybe comment every now and again sort of thing to get back around to it. Because a lot of the time, all it is, a no is not a no. A no is always not right now. It's one of those things that we just as people do. You know, somebody asks you something and it's caught you a little bit off guard, or you're just like, you just say, no thanks, no, I'm good. And you might be walking away thinking, oh wow, I wish I'd have spoken to them a little bit more about that, because that sounded really interesting. But it's just an instant reaction. No, not interested. No. You know, it's just something that we do because we're so used to being sold to with stuff. So no's don't always mean no's. And somebody ignoring you doesn't always necessarily mean a no. I know so many people that have ended up signing somebody after, messaging them, and they've said nothing. I mean, us included, and they've not said anything, and then still been social. And then they come back and you say, you know what? Hey, sorry I didn't reply to you before. I've been thinking about it. I've been seeing your posts. I've been seeing this and that. Can you tell me more about it? You know, so even if you do message somebody, and that's the beauty with it, social media, because it's not face to face, it's like it's okay just to ignore somebody as such. It's not like this massive, oh no, it's not this big deal. It's not like face to face. If you did that face to face, it'd be a different situation, but it's not. So people do ignore a little bit. It's a little bit more disconnected, but that can still be fine because you can drip on them with your posts and things like that. So even if you are somebody who does this face to face, social media can be a massive help because you can just be advertising to them over and over and over again. So that's why we certainly always say, and I know Johnny always says, you know, any successful blitz or interaction with somebody is where you can get them onto your Facebook. You know, not even getting their telephone number, things like that. Like, don't need it. Facebook is where it's at. Because at the same time, they can go and scope you out. You know, make sure you don't look like a weirdo. Okay, talk to this person. That's pretty much what it's all about. So that goes. So with that, make sure your profile doesn't make you look like a weirdo, because you know it's just how it is. First impressions count. You need to have great pictures. Want to have a fun lifestyle. You know, you love Lamborghinis. Have your picture of a Lamborghini. You know, I'm going to have that one day. Stuff, just, you know, just whatever your target audience is to some extent, you know, you want to look cool, you know, and that means something different to everybody else, you know. If you're talking to my sister and her husband, that would be bass fishing all day long. All they'd want is the fattest bass boat with the sparkliest graphics, paint job along the side, and just in the lake all day long. That's their gig. So obviously that depends as well on where you might be around the country, you know, but that's also something that will really, really help, because all these people are going to be going to your profile. Normally people only ever check out your profile once. The first time you request them, they'll go to it once, they'll have a look, and it takes them all of like split second to say yes or no, you know, and that's a one-time shot normally.
Profile picture and cover.
After that,
that's definitely.
After that, most people, yeah, because I mean that gets them to be curious in the first place, or whether or not they're even going to take that step to go to your profile. Because how many friend requests do we get? And it's just like,
oh yeah,
I don't know, many, a lot of the time. So that's a good way of doing it too. And again, that goes hand in hand with whether you're going to do this business face to face or through social media. Because a lot of the time, if you're meeting somebody face to face and you don't close the deal like right there and then, which is rare, you want to get them onto your social media accounts, whatever they might be, you know, whether it be Snapchat or Instagram or Facebook, to work on them over time. You know, that's really the key to that. And I mean, God, the topic of attraction marketing is massive, you know, and there's been many books wrote on it. But something I wanted to touch on, because I just remembered that you mentioned something before, like always failing forward and always going with the no's. There are many books out there that have been written a long time ago about the concept of going for no, i.e., this is a numbers game. Go through the no's as quickly as humanly possible, because the difference between somebody at the top and the other person is they probably spoke to 10 and got 10,000 no's. You know, so the quicker you get through those no's, you're going to be finding the yeses along the way. You know, no's really are not a no. It's just a not right now. You know, it's absolutely just a not right now. People just need to think about it a little bit more.
That was us.
The vast majority of people. Yep.
That was us. Bro, Natalie, how long did you hear about this business before you joined?
I was probably approached like 6 times.
Yeah.
No.
Six times she was approached. I mean, we've had a couple friends that have done it. I was approached about this business 5 years ago. I had a friend that hit double diamond 5 years ago. Craziest thing ever. He literally, I remembered it, and I actually reached out to his wife, and this was just in recent. I'd reached out to his wife and was like, hey, had started conversation with her. I've known her for 20 years. And she was like, Johnny, you don't remember that, like, we tried talking to you about that? And I'm like, no. She was like, yeah, like, there was brunch at Mangroves. You were bartending. I'm like, oh, wow. I didn't even realize. How did you – yeah, 5 years ago, they tried talking to me about it. He hit double diamond, and they maintained for a while, and he ended up taking the money and invested into a different – he went into a different option, a different route. But 5 years ago, Natalie's been approached so many times – and you know what? It was literally the perfect timing. No means not right now. It was the perfect timing. She's getting ready to do a photo shoot. She decides, hey, you know what? What's the worst case? I want to try one of the wraps. She tried the wrapping. We were like, we don't even care about using it. We want to sell these things. They work. And then obviously going in on attraction marketing, guys, if you're not a product of the product, attraction marketing is not going to work. You've got to have your own results. You have to be able to talk about the products, what they do for you. That is definitely key. And yeah, I was just getting ready to answer that question too, Dan. Yeah, Go for No is Richard Fenton. It is an amazing book. I preach it to our team. Natalie gets excited when she hears no's, because I will tell you, we will hear 6 no's after we've already got somebody's information, and we'll still sell them an extra product. And it's the difference. And I always like to I say this to the team. It's the difference when you go for no. It is the difference between, and we're talking about products here. We're not talking about distributors. It's the difference. If you can sign an upsell, it's all about upselling. If you can upsell one extra product per customer that you did not have any intention on selling, think of that as 10 extra loyal customers. What does that do for your business? If you're selling something that's minor, that's 25 BV, if you're selling 25 extra things at Fat Fighters, what happens? You just completely, that's almost filling an extra box every single month. And a lot of times people, this is the biggest thing that I think that I've realized is you don't ever set anybody's, you don't assume somebody's ever finished shopping. You don't ever set somebody's budget for them. You let them determine their budget. Just because in your mind, you say, oh, wow, they've already spent $500, or, oh, wow, they've already spent $250. I've got college kids that are 18 years old that have spent $500 and have run auto ships consistently and overnighted the products to themselves. So
I've had people on food stamps that are still buying the products. I mean, it's nuts, and it's sad to see, but that, we found out afterwards, but they've, when somebody wants something, they'll make it happen. These people wanted these wraps, like they wanted them. They didn't eat, but they wanted wraps. So yeah, it happens. And so a lot of some of these books we wrote about, some of these development books, pretty much though, the gist of it is, don't worry about no's. No's, I know, are a big confidence thing because nobody likes hearing no. But if you look at it in a different mindset, that really it isn't a no. It's just, if somebody said to you, you know what, not right now. Let me have a think about it. All right. It'd be so different, but they don't. They say no, and that's such like a blunt. Oh my God, I'm being rejected. And it's hard. Nobody wants to. Nobody wants that. So if you go into it with the mindset of knowing that I know these people aren't actually saying no to me, they're just saying, hey, I need to think about this a little bit more. Completely different. Your mindset is different. Your confidence doesn't get knocked as much. It's okay. So that is the gist of a lot of them, or a lot of the go for no's or fail forward type things. That means get knocked down, sure, keep on getting up again. Every single person, entrepreneur, business owner, whether or not be it network marketing or anything, has had knockbacks, the setbacks, with their business. I mean, it's just part and parcel of it. It really is. So don't worry too much about it.
I actually find it kind of weird whenever somebody joins without a follow-up nowadays. I'm like, I expect it whenever I talk to you. I don't expect you to sign the first time. I expect you to sign the second, third, and the follow-up. It's the fortunes in the follow-up. That's why they say it.
Now the beauty, once.
Oh, there you go. I was saying, you were frozen. I could hear you, but now I can't. He's muted. I give it a minute. Dan. Give it a minute here. I'm sure he'll jump back. Can you guys see me? You guys can see me through thumb. No, okay. Can you guys? Is Dan talking? Can I just not hear Dan? Okay. I just wanted to make sure. All right. I'm sure he'd probably be restarting. A little restarting a reboot. That's that RV life. But as you guys can see, though, one thing I will just kind of keep on touching on, Dan is extremely knowledgeable. Him and Jess are probably the best in the business as far as for attraction marketing. So they will definitely kind of help you guys and get you guys filled in. Let's see where he's at there. Unmute. You just joined back. Dan the man. All right.
Oh, no.
There we go.
No. Am I good?
Yep, you're good to go.
Man, Zoom just crashed. Just boop. Didn't want me no more. Okay. Yeah, if you guys have got any questions about attraction marketing and that side of things, because that is a game changer. I honestly, anybody who is in network marketing or this industry, their goal should be to not necessarily master it, but certainly be damn good at it, because it's a game changer, complete game changer. And what you'll find is most people right at the very top do it. You know, so it's obviously you got to look at people who are right at the very top, but most people don't start it until way into their career, because, you know, once they've already started to build a brand. But if you start it from day one, you're going to get to where you want to go quicker, because you might be a diamond and having people contact you. That's a game changer. Because normally at diamond, you're still hustling, talking to people, you know, so that can be a huge help. So I know it just crashed out for me. If there are questions, here's the thing. I would like to say it's all me. A lot of it is my wife, but I know about it quite extensively. So
hello.
So if you have questions, feel free to ask them, you know, because
I'm not supposed to be on here.
Yeah.
I know I'm not a man. But...
So where's my?
We don't mind if you're on, Jess.
Don't worry, I'm right here.
Natalie's right here listening too. She's soaking it all in.
Over the shoulder. Cool. Where was I? Yeah, throw out some questions.
I had a question here that was asked. Can you give a couple of your best blitz tips? Blitzing is definitely not one of my stronger suits. We do a lot of social media.
Yeah,
but
when you
here's something you can do.
Really good.
Yeah, here's something you can do. It's not something I do all the time, but here's the thing. So again, the whole, my wife sent me out, I've got to get rid of all these blitz cards in a jokey way. That works an absolute treat. It really does, because you break it, you know, you may like, it's great. Another way of doing it is you can always, what was it? Can you remember you approach the woman?
You're wearing green today.
Wearing green today is always one. Like, hey,
I have to give these out to everybody in green. Do you know anybody that might want this?
Another one is like,
Done.
you know, something along the lines of like customer appreciation day. Here's a card. You know, and that's a good one. They're good ones for when you're new and you're just trying to like, well, just do it to get brave, you know, because in the beginning, most people don't like blitzing, handing out coupons.
And also, I don't know how many of you guys were on last week's Zoom that Johnny did, but something that
the boyfriend thing.
Yeah, something that I came up with while the Zoom was happening. It just popped in my head, and I was like, "Damn, that's a good idea." Something from a woman, how to approach us very simply with a blitz card. Approach us asking about our boyfriend or husband, or if we know any guys that might be interested in this business. The second we see that card and we grab it, because we will, and we look at it and we see the before and after, we're like, what the hell is this? There you go. Doors open. You could talk to us all day. So, because we're not feeling threatened and we're not feeling like you're hitting on us or anything like that. So there you go.
The other way of doing it is just, you know, the very, this is the very real estate approach. Hey, do you know anybody? You know, the normal real estate approach is, do you know anybody looking to buy or sell real estate? And you can say, hey, do you know anybody looking to earn an extra income or tighten tone and firm? Things like that. You're not directing the question to and obviously it's going to be a woman 9 times out of 10, because obviously we have to be very, very careful about that. You're not directing it to them directly. It's that indirect route. But they'll start looking at the Blitz card and, sure, not all, but a lot are going to look at that and be like, what? Is this real? Yeah. Look at my, oh yeah, this is my wife. Look at my wife's results. Amazing, right?
If somebody came up to me with a Blitz card and it was a guy and I didn't know about this business and he said exactly what I just said and said, hey, do you know any guy? Are you married? Are you with whoever? Maybe a guy that you know that would be interested in this business. And I grabbed that card and saw the before and after. I'd be like, yeah, I could talk to some people, but you're going to need to tell me what this is all about because I got to know how that guy.
Yeah, or do you know any? Hey, do you know any guys that work out? We've got this amazing recovery product. Or we've got this amazing
and you could do that. You could do that with girls that work out.
Sure.
Because they'll be like, yeah, but I work out too. So what is it?
Right.
I mean, it's so simple. It is so simple.
Do you know anybody do you know any guys? You could approach it with the guy thing that are looking to boost their energy. You can talk about the greens, if it goes on from there. Or obviously the recovery is the new you. That's great at that. So yeah, that's some of the easiest ways for a guy to blitz. Certainly the color thing. Hey, you're wearing our company colors. Hey, here's a coupon. Because we always call them coupons. Don't call them blitz card. Nobody knows what a blitz card is. You call something a coupon? Friggin' women? Coupon? Gimme. We'll take them all. Crazy. Gimme them all. So yeah, that's some of the easiest ways.
I've got two ways that I like to do. First off, I don't know who JC is, what's up here, but he's like in the gym right now, like killing it. This guy is going crazy in the gym right now, and I've just been kind of Hey, props to you, bro. Yeah, for listening to a Zoom while you're in the gym. I can see it looks like he's over like training clients or something.
Oh yeah.
That's
nice.
what's up, for real. Yeah, true dedication, that's for sure. My dude, for sure. But two things that I like to do. I will go to the gas station and I will pull into the gas station. I will walk up to somebody and go, hey, I got a question. I'll tell them my house. Hey, and I know where I'm going. Hey, I'm looking for Starbucks that's close. Just trying to think of something off the top of my head. Do you know where the Starbucks is at? My friend told me there was a Starbucks around here. I've been driving around. They will point you in the right direction and just give them a compliment. Oh my, hey, I really, really appreciate it. You're very personable. Man, you would be absolutely killer at what I do, and give them a business card, give them a Blitz card. I will also go into stores. I have been kicked out of several stores for this. But I will go into stores and I will literally look on one side of the store, and I've actually got a couple of live Blitz videos for this. I will look on the other side of the store and I will see that there are men's ties over there. I know where the men's ties are at. I'm not stupid. I can see them. I will go to the opposite side of the store and I will find a sales associate and I will ask them to point out where the ties are at. They're 99% of the time they're going to go, oh, they're over there. I'll say, oh, I'll look and I don't even wear contact. I'll be like, oh, I don't have my contacts in. Can you show me where they're at? And people, they will walk me there. It's like company policy. If you can't find it, oh, can you just show me? Can you just show me? People will walk you there. Have a normal conversation. So how's your day going? Oh, great. Little small chit chat. And then I will already have my phone pulled up. Facebook. I like Facebook because, again, it's a little bit less awkward than getting somebody's number. Some women will feel inferior. They'll feel weird about it, especially if they have a significant other. So I feel like Facebook is easy. And I'll just give them a compliment. Hey, I really, really appreciate it. You're very, very personable. You would absolutely kill it in my business. This is one of my business cards. Are you on Facebook? And just give them your phone. They will take your phone and add themselves every single time. I went to go get the car washed the other day. Went to go get the car washed, and I was at the Lexus dealership waiting on them to wash the car. I would go stand out there and just stand there and act like I'm interested in buying a car. The sales associate comes up. I start making chit chat with them. I got all three of them to add me on Facebook. And now these people are over here, potential distributors in my inbox because they're interested in what I do. Because let's all be real. Car salesmen, they're not millionaires, and they're entrepreneurs. These people are working 60, 70, 80 hours a week. So, hey.
I can't believe you don't wash your own car.
What's that?
I can't believe you don't wash your own car. What a princess. I mean,
Oh, dude. Hey, Lexus gives us free car washes for life.
No, I know.
Yeah, it's so nice. I'm like, man, it's the nicest thing ever. Never having to wash.
So, here's another way that works incredibly well. And sorry, I just thought of this now, but I'm one of those where, you know, when questions get asked, it jogs memories and it goes with it because there's so much stuff. So here's the thing. You go fake shopping for your girlfriend, wife, right? Talk to the sales associate. You're in a woman's clothing store, so they're always going to be women. And be like, hey, I'm looking for something nice for my girlfriend or wife. They've been absolutely killing it at work. They've just got a promotion.
You're messing it up.
Okay.
Go into a Macy's, Forever 21, wherever you need to go. Or no, actually go into a store where there's a women associate. Doesn't matter if it's a guy or whatever. It hopefully has guys' clothes. Go into an Express, okay? Hold out a Blitz card. Go up to a woman that's working there and say, hey, do you have anything in this color green?
That's also one, but my one is different from that as well.
I'm going to this event. She's part of this business, and it's an amazing company, and I have to wear this color.
Yep.
And then you're showing the Blitz card back and forth. Yep. There you go. That's my input.
That is definitely brilliant.
Sorry, Dan.
No, you're good. Because good idea. I mean, and Jess has done that at times before, and it's a great way to, one, show the card, and one, just, easy peasy. You know, you're not actively selling, but you're. So
that's over here. Like, I could do that. Wow.
Anybody can do that. Anybody, because it's like, hey, I'm looking for something lime green, just like this color. What do you guys got? They will always look at the card because they want to see the color, so they're kind of going to look at it. So okay, another thing that we've done is we've been fake shopping, and I know some of my team members have done it too. So I was telling the story. It's slightly different from what Jess was saying too. Daniel. But you, no, it's cool. You go in there and you are fake shopping, and you be like, oh, it goes along the lines of, hey, I've got an event or something, but you're saying, I've got my wife's been doing fantastic at work. She's just got this promotion, and I want to get her something nice. What have you got? I want to take her out on a date. And that's a great way to start and lead the conversation. And a lot of the times they'll say, oh, that's fantastic. Oh, that's so sweet. Oh, and then that you've broken that barrier. It's like, oh my God, he's so nice. Oh, and then it can lead on from there. Like, oh, what does she do? And it can also be, even if they don't ask, if they're helpful, because this is the thing too, you've got your radar out for you're not trying to recruit everybody. You got your radar out for people that you think could be good in this business. And if they are good, you say to them, you'd be amazing at what she does. My God, you two have got to talk. You'd be amazing.
I have one more tip.
Of course you do.
It's not a Blitz tip. This is I don't give this away. But you guys seem nice, so. Okay, now we have a domain name, right? Like we have the website link, so that way it goes to the store, blah, blah, right? So ours is beskinnybytomorrow.com. Now, we have a debit card that says beskinnybytomorrow.com on it. So whenever we go out and we go shopping, without fail, I pull out that card. They look at it to run. Be skinny, but I'd like to be skinny by tomorrow. What is that all about? Boom, done. All I was doing was paying for my damn shirt. That was it. Paying for dinner, paying for whatever. Every single day I pull out that card, somebody asks me a question about it.
Yeah.
There you go.
So
all right, now I'm really done.
So that definitely goes along with branding like cool and wearing it work name. Stuff and stuff. But you can, a domain name, or even just having a T-shirt made up along that lines that might get a question asked. Can work too.
Guys, definitely, if you do not have It Works gear, buy it. It is a conversation starter. I will tell you that.
Yeah.
It is definitely a conversation starter.
Because if you're doing some of the blitzing tips that we just spoke about, out shopping and things like that, and you're wearing the It Works gear too, it just seems more legit than just talking to somebody who might just be in a, polo shirt and jeans or whatever, a T-shirt and jeans. It just seems more legit if you're in the, the uniform as such. Best practices for closing potential DTs or OCs. Okay, so here's the thing that we do a lot, right?
I want to be on the Zoom so bad.
I know, Jesse's just itching. Wants to be on Zooms all the time. So a lot of the time with closing, don't act like, oh my God, I need to sign you up like yesterday. Act a little bit hard to get-ish. Like, I know in the beginning you want anybody and everybody and you're desperate for people to sign up. But if you give off that vibe, they'll run away. You know, if you keep on doing the whole, hey, you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? They're never going to be ready. They're not going to sign up with you. They'll sign up with somebody else if they are ready, because they're like, whoa, you know. So, and again, this does go along the lines of the attraction marketing thing. When you've got people coming to you, they're coming to you already like pre-qualified as such. They've already done the whole, do I want to do this? Don't I? I'm in an ahhing. And they're coming to you with literally all they need is the basic of information just to kind of get that green light. And obviously don't screw it up. Only give people the information they ask for. I'm not saying lie to them, but don't. The saying is, a confused mind shuts down. Absolutely the truth.
I hate that.
You throw, I'm sure you do, but it's the truth. You throw too much information at people and they shut down and they say no, because they need to process it and think about it. So just give them what they are asking for.
Yeah, never answer questions that you're not asked. Never.
Right, just the basic stuff. And again, that doesn't mean lie to them. You know, if it's something absolutely imperative that they need to know, right? But for the absolute most part, if they ask a question, answer it. Ask them a question, or the answer is a question. You know, to try and get that, you know, ping pong going. It's a very, very easy way to kill a potential is to, one, talk too much, you know, but two, just seem desperate. It just, you know, it just doesn't work. People don't like, you know, it's not good to do that. So,
you know what I do sometimes? Sorry, I'm back. Sometimes, honestly, I will play so hard to get that I'll be in the middle of a conversation. I'll be like, oh, you know what? I have to make a phone call right now to one of my customers. It's really important. I have to take care of this. Can I get back to you in a little bit? Like, people are like, oh, yeah, sure, that's fine. Immediately, even if I want that sale so bad, they know that I didn't hound them. So the second I do get back to them, they're going to be like, oh, hey, yeah, I'm still here, because it's a psychological thing.
It's like when we're trying to chat up women. It's just that whole play hard to get thing. It does work, and it just takes that I'm not desperate.
I always compare this to
right away
to playing hard.
And it's very hard to do. The first couple of times you're like, oh, this is tough, because you just want to like sell and close the deal. But sometimes walking away, they'll chase you. No different from if you've ever bought a car and you say, I got 10 grand to spend. That's all I'm spending. And they're like, no. You start walking out the door, they'll chase you, you know, 99% of the time. You're like, okay, you know, just if you know, okay, I'm doing you the favor type thing. That's the other thing too, right? I very much feel that the person that signed us up did us a massive favor. That's how you want to go into every single sale, whether it be products or becoming a distributor. Because our upline did us a huge favor. So if you go into it, you know, that takes the desperation out of it a little bit too, because you're not desperate for that sale. You're like, I'm helping you out. What do you mean? I'm helping you out. And if they're like, oh, I'm not sure, I'll be like, okay, you know, that very nonchalant, like, okay, you know, and it makes them think a little bit too. You know, this desperation is what kills most sales big time. And that person, I can't tell you how many people have come to us afterwards because that DT has been annoying or too salesy or too pushy, and it's like, it just doesn't work. And then we've signed up people, you know, just pure and simple. So hopefully that answered that a little bit.
But you guys have to, sorry, Johnny, I'm taking over your Zoom.
I'm not really sorry.
I was a guest at a One Team One Mission on Sunday, and I had the social media panel, and I was like, I didn't want to give the mic away. So basically, you guys, though, you're in a position where you just need to own that you are a guy in this and not think of it the other way around. Like, oh, it's going to be difficult.
It's a positive. It really is.
Wait, please. 1 second. So, and here's why. Because as a woman, I know women, I know Natalie, for example, who's kick-ass in the gym, and, you know, she is super fit and all that stuff. But as a woman, who is not like that, to that extent. When I talk to anybody at the gym or whatever about maybe losing weight or getting fit, whatever, it's always the guy. For some reason, a woman, unless I know her personally, I'm going to go to the guy and I'm going to trust what he has to say about losing weight and getting fit, because that's just what we're naturally inclined to do and think as women. Unless I know the woman, you know what I mean? Like if Natalie was there, I'd be like, hey, what's up? So use that to your advantage. Like you have to go in there and literally be the expert. You don't have to be an expert in weight loss or fitness or anything like that. You need to be an expert in what you're doing with this business, and women will pick up on that and they will trust what you're saying, whether you are talking about a rock or the rap.
But you think about how many personal trainers there are, and they're training women a lot of the time, right? Male person,
Agree with that. Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
No,
those women have, if you go into it like, hey, this is what I do all day, every day, no big deal. Then
most guys, we feel we can we not, like, I don't need a trainer, I'll do it myself. Like I have a million friends that are that way, and they need a trainer. That's a nice way to put it. I'm like, no, bro, it's not about that. But going away from that, Nat, you said, what did you just say? You said something. I know she's over here. She's been over here kind of chiming in as well. But it's one of those it's one of those things where I do definitely agree with what Jess said. I mean, women are more inclined to come to a guy. I have girls that will message me all the time asking me for fitness advice, and I feel like guys don't really care. The guys I have to more or less kind of approach. Now I do have guys that will message me about it, but I feel like it's one of those things where I think more than half of our loyal customers and half of the distributors that we've signed have been men. I mean, we've signed a lot of men in our organization. Now, the guys don't stick around as long as the women do, especially the male distributors. But I will tell you, the male loyal customers, they stick around just as long as the women do, and we do. We sign, it's about even with that. It's like 50-50. So, don't be afraid. Yeah. Don't be afraid to.
We've had a ton of guys order the Heskin and Nails for like the beard challenges and just growing a bigger beard. I mean, that's a massive I'll say trend, but it's a big thing. So yeah, a huge amount of people ordering Heskin and Nails for that, and a lot of them don't even think about it until you mention it, and it's like, oh, and you show them some before and afters, and it's like, okay.
That's where that no comes in.
You know what?
Every product. I'd go through, I'll spend an hour on the phone with you, but I'm going to mention 10 different products, and you're going to buy 8 of them, and you don't even realize that you had. And guys, and that's that too, if you're mentioning products, like I may be having digestive problems. You never brought it up. You never talked to me about it. I had no idea that you even offer something like that. And all of a sudden you mention it, and all of a sudden, well, you know what? I do. Or, man, my energy levels have been low. I didn't realize it. All of a sudden you're mentioning something with my energy levels. And now, you know what? I'll take that, because it all of a sudden it becomes like, well, I need this now. I'm going to be placing an order anyway, so I might as well. And you can't, somebody's already sold on the products. You can't say the wrong thing to them. I mean, you can only say the right thing to them. So, and then you're also saying for next month if they want to. And that's another thing too. Now, not just said, and that also, so maybe this month, maybe they don't end up buying. But maybe next month, whenever they go to run that auto ship, maybe they end up changing up the products, because that's the great thing about our auto ship. You can change up your products. So maybe they try a cleanse this month, and next month they want to try the Thermo Fit and they want to try greens. Or maybe, because again, not everybody has that ability to just drop $500 a month on supplement. We all understand that. But, it is a budget, and sometimes it ends up working that way. And I will definitely agree with what you said too, Dan, about we were talking about how you don't want to feel – first off, you don't want to ever come off as pushy. But we don't get right back to people. I want to look busy. I want people to look at me and go, you know what? He's busy. But you do want to get back to him. Again, the fortune is the follow-up. But you don't want to look like you need them. You want them to look like they need you. And whenever you are busy, kind of how Jess said that she'll be, oh, well, you know what? Like, hey, I got to make a phone call real quick. I don't know how many times we have had people, they will talk themselves into the business. They were going crazy in their mind. You gave them 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, and you just, hey, so, you're interested? And all of a sudden they're just, yeah, you know what? Don't even worry about it. I went on the website. I looked at it. I want to get this, and this. Here's my credit card. And they're sending you the credit card information. It's like, wow, they talk. We've had distributors talk themselves into the business. We've got on the phone and have literally said maybe 3 sentences. And when they first started, one of the questions that they'd ask were, well, I don't know. I don't really know if this is for me, and then they'll ask us a question. We'll answer it. And then they'll go on for 10 minutes, 15 minutes. They'll ask another question. Then they'll go on for 10 or 15 minutes. We're very short with the answers. And then all of a sudden, hey, they've signed up. We didn't even convince them. They convinced themselves. So
people also want to feel like they have come up with the idea first.
Sure.
So allowing them to talk themselves into it is golden. And that's, again, goes along the lines of don't say too much. Ask questions and allow them to do the talking, because people will talk themselves into it. If you've got somebody who it feels really, really hard, then they're not ready yet. Don't work too hard on the ones that it just feels like it's forced. That's no different from the dating scene. You're talking to somebody and the conversation's that hard. It's just not right. Move on. You know that you just need to go start chatting to somebody else, because that's just not, it needs to be, it's not going to be super duper easy, but the conversation wants to flow a little bit too. So bear that in mind. And that person that you were talking to where the conversation was a little bit, they might just be somebody that is really analytical and needs to do a ton of research, and then come back to you. So it's not a problem to leave something and come back to it and follow up with them again. I think in marketing terms, kind of the stats that they throw around in college and stuff is that somebody needs to see an advert about 10, 15, 20 times before they will buy something. That's why you've got billion-dollar brands like McDonald's and Walmart still with billboards. Everyone knows who they are, but they still do it because that tactic works. It's psychology behind it. So somebody who, you never know who you're talking to. Somebody that might just need to see an advert 5 times before they order, or somebody who needs to see it 20 times. You don't know who you're talking to. So you keep on like dripping away with that advert. And that's the beauty of what Johnny was talking about with the products. You don't know that, say, a guy's got into, certain issues. You don't know what somebody's issues are. But if you are talking about the products online and dripping on people with those products, they're like, oh, you've got so much for okay. Something to be regular. Oh, you've got something for, joints. Or you've got New You, which is great for, recovery. Get them thinking. So that when you do start strike up conversations, because you don't know. And a lot of time when you do strike up a conversation, you want to say to somebody, so what are the areas you want to work on? We've got products for everything. What are you looking to work on? Ask them questions like that. Because if they've seen, they are more likely to come to you and say, well, what's that regular about? If they've already seen you post, they're not going to come to you and say, well, I'm working on such and such, if they don't know you sell it, private stuff like that, not necessarily something you always divulge, but yeah, ask them stuff. What are 3 things you want to fix? What are the 3 areas you want to fix? Yep. Top 3. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Here's what I would say. This product this month, and then this product second month, that product third month. But what I really recommend is the trio pack or the system or things like that. And if you are already looked at, again, this goes along with branding and looking at as a person of knowledge in this area, they're more inclined to listen to you. We know the system works really, really well. So we're not lying when we say to somebody, this is what you want. If they're your goals, this is what you want. There's your upseller stuff. Same as if you're in the gym. A lot more BV.
Dan, what about best? I'm not sure if you answered this one. Best way to follow up without seeming like you're nagging a person, and how often should you follow up? There's a question that was asked.
You can jump on that one.
Oh, you want me on? How about you eat for a second?
Yeah, let me just dive into this.
All right, so best way to follow up without nagging them. First, remain social with them. Also, you kind of want to instill that sense of urgency, because that's something that I really, really believe in. I think that sense of urgency in a voice message is like literally will seal the deal practically every time. So something that I do if I'm following up, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you, I rarely do follow up just because people, traction marketing, they sign up already. But for most people that do have to follow up, I would say to not be nagging them. Don't even bring up the product. Don't even bring business. Don't even bring up the product. Just be like, hey, you know, how was your weekend? Or whatever. Or, hey, and then you could talk, oh, yeah, you know, I went to this. You don't have to have them know what you did. You could have went to a One Team One Mission, an amazing event. You could have, oh, you know, my wife, she put on the wrap yesterday. She's freaking out around, LOL. You know, I mean, just like, it could be literally anything. Nobody's going to know what's going on in your life because you could just make it up. So just make it up if you have to. If somebody said that to me, I'd be like, oh, yeah, oh, those wraps. That's right. I forgot you sell them. Yeah, I've been meaning to talk to you about it, whatever. But you just want to not bring up the business or the products if you don't want to be nagging.
Sorry, I thought
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
One of the best things to do, people are lazy. Even just the simple process of checking out on an online shopping cart.
You're going to say what I was about to say. Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, I'm putting in a ton of orders. Let me do it for you.
Yep.
Yeah, we do that too.
Yeah.
I know we talked.
People are lazy.
I know we talked
Somebody
last
says,
week.
okay, all you've got to do is sit there and I'll do everything for you. Go on then.
Yep. Here's my voice message. Ready? Hey, Leslie, I know we talked last week about you wanting to try the cleanse. I just helped some people put some orders in for a couple of other things, and I have a few minutes right now. Are you ready to go? Like, I'll help you with yours. That's it. Sometimes you will get a yes. Sometimes you will get a no. But at the very least, you've checked in without being like, hey, are you going to order yet? Are you going to order yet? Are you going to order yet?
Or you can
worded differently.
Or you can do the psychology thing, which everyone likes to follow. I mean, everyone likes to follow the trend, right? So you can say, hey, just to actually help two customers order the. I just signed them up for the cleanse, and it made me think of you because I knew we were chatting about it last week. I can put yours in right now. Let me do it for you.
Literally the same thing, but just worded differently. So, like, it's all little things like
because they're hearing you say, I did it for somebody else, and they ordered that thing too. Oh, okay. Well, maybe. Okay. Go on then.
Maybe it works. And that's, yeah, exactly.
So that's a way of doing it.
Yeah. That's also the importance too, guys, of making sure that, you want to be shouting people out, especially when if you're signing people like, yeah, I was just going to say, yeah, I mean, if you're welcoming people to a rap challenge, if you've signed a couple people for the day, you know, hey, I just welcomed, 2 friends to whatever the system challenge, the hair, skin, and nails challenge. It does. It makes it look like it's very, very popular. And one thing that we found is, so say that I've been talking to somebody about the system. I tend to talk to people in kind of in waves about specific products, given the product style post. So if I made a product post about the cleanse, or I made a product post about, I try to start with packs myself personally, because again, I want to assume that people are going to buy packs, more BV. And I have talked to 10 people. I'll maybe go through and I'll send them a message, kind of what like Dan and Jess were talking about. And then I'm going to make a post about the system, and I'm going to make a post with and I'm going to actually show a before and after picture of it. So that way, whenever they see it, because the way the algorithm works, because you're sending them a message, your stuff is going to pop up in their feed. So you just mention the system. So they're reading your message, even if they don't get right back with you. They're seeing your post, they're seeing the results, and that is almost a way of kind of saying, hey, check this out, here it is, and they're actually seeing what it's going to do for them, and then guess what? They're in the inbox going, hey, you know what? I think I'm ready. And we've had people sign this way because of that. It's about psychology, or you talk to a couple people about it, and you do something similar to where you say, hey, we just welcomed Susie and Sally to the 90-day hair, skin, and nail challenge, and you've been talking to people about hair, skin, and nails. It boosts the confidence in people knowing that other people are using the products. And in turn, they're just more inclined to jump on board with it. Yeah, I mean, every single time. It definitely works like a charm. People want to see the results, and they definitely want to see that they're not the only one that's using something. People are more inclined to do things in groups. So that's just kind of general psychology of it.
Nobody ever wants to be the guinea pig.
No.
And because this company isn't necessarily a household name yet, people, they want to see that somebody else has done it, and they're not like, there's a ton of people that do. Okay, I'll try it. Yeah, it just goes a exactly what Johnny was saying.
I don't, and I try to stay away too from the word product tester. I know a lot of people like that product tester. I don't like that because if your product works, then why am I testing it? And I've also found that people will say tester. They assume that it's free, and I don't know why. Maybe that is the law of attraction for me. That's what I assume. You tell me if you want me to test something, I'm like, well, I don't want to pay for it. Right. So
yep.
I feel like people come to me. Natalie she can make that post and she can talk about product tester, and nobody asked her for it for free. I make it, and I got 25 people that want it free. Let me get a sample. I'm like, nah, you ain't getting a sample. Follow up. Best. Okay, we already went through that one. Dan, they want to know what you're having for dinner.
I'm actually having Chinese.
Hey. Speaking
of
business. Yeah.
Bit of broccoli, bit of rice, bit of I'm vegan, so these are it's mock chicken. Just like
what is mock chicken? I'm sorry.
Soy protein.
Okay. I got you. A little bit off topic. Good step to start with. What is a good step? A good step to starting your own brand, local market ideas.
So I'm just looking at some.
Yeah.
Okay, so as I mentioned, you are your own brand. What really helps to start do that is to start to do things that people are going to look upon you as the expert in your field. So if that means you need to do a little bit of research in the back end of the e-suite or the what's the other website? Product coach.
Product coach, yeah.
That really helps with that, because people are not going to listen to you unless they think you are somewhat of an expert in a field. So it goes a long way with that too. Did you have anything specific to start with, Jess, with that? So no, that's really your field.
That's a big question. That's like a whole other Zoom.
That's an open.
Yeah. I was going to say, I had did a video earlier before this that is all about the do's and don'ts of attraction marketing, how to really get yourself branded, how attraction marketing, branding, confidence, how everything kind of ties in with one another. It's very general. So there is a lot of information. I didn't even realize. I always try to go like 20 minutes, but I look down and I'm like, live video is 50 minutes. I'm like, holy crap. How did these people stay on this video for that long? That definitely will kind of cover a lot of it. Future Zooms, we will definitely have a Zoom pretty much on branding, a Zoom on attraction marketing, because they all do kind of tie hand in hand with one another. That's for sure. You can't brand yourself. You can't use attraction marketing if you're not really focusing on branding yourself.
I'm definitely one of those people that if you give me bullet points, I can talk about it all day long. If you throw a question out to me, I'm like, that's just, for the most part, that's just how my brain works. So if we've got we sit down, we work out some bullet points and we work out, right, this is what we're going to talk about, sure, and go, then I'm great. So, apologies guys for not necessarily having all the answers right away with this. But one of the main things, obviously, that I was jumping on the Zoom was wanted to talk about the whole, how we as guys can help our other halves, because that's really how I run the business. So although I do know an awful lot about, because I've been around it for so long, the front of house stuff and the psychology behind it and things like that, because Jess and I are always talking about it. Some of the questions threw me for a loop a little bit, because I didn't necessarily have that game plan set in my head. But we definitely can do a really good Zoom on attraction marketing and branding and things like that, because it's super important to brand yourself. Really important. Yeah. Because here's the thing. You want to stand out there. Say you jump onto Facebook, and I guarantee you that most people have been cold messaged and inboxed by have multiple friends that are It Works distributors on their friends list. You need to stand out. You want to stand out. You want to be that go-to person that they think of you rather than somebody else. Yeah, we'll have that for.
That's definitely another Zoom for sure.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I know if anybody has any other questions, I don't really see that many other questions. I think we went through everything. Just ending, kind of like an ending point. I would strongly recommend making sure that when you are making posts, guys, make sure that you're not posting. First off, avoid copy and paste. It's kind of a couple of quick tips. Really avoid copy and paste. Really focus on putting value into your post. If we are talking about branding and attraction marketing, really, really put value into your post. I would rather see somebody posting twice a day, but I want to see their post and I want to read their post, than somebody that posts 6, 7, 8 times a day. And again, kind of going on branding, product of the product. Use your own pictures. Use your own stories. Use your own testimonies. Yeah, we get Jess on there. We're gonna be going for a minute. So again, I don't want to touch too much on that. But that's just some tips as far as for that branding question. Yeah. Oh, we'll be going. This would be another 3-hour Zoom if that's where we're going. But other than that, does anybody have any other questions? Where do you find info on algorithms? I do monthly videos. You can definitely check my YouTube page. I have all kinds of stuff broken down for modern algorithms. I actually love it. I'm not even gonna lie. I research it daily. I am huge on figuring out all the modern algorithms for Facebook and Instagram. Guys, if you're not using Snapchat, learn to use Snapchat. Love it. There is no algorithm for Snapchat. The more you snap, the higher you are in the news feed. Or the higher you are in the stories, I should say, and the more visibility you're going to get.
It's wide open. Wide open.
Yeah, that's a whole another separate Zoom as well.
I'll just touch on that very briefly.
Yeah, of course. No, of course.
Get the vision for it, because I mean it can be huge. Okay, so the beauty of Snapchat, because it's so new, there have been no algorithms added to it to narrow it down. You know, it goes out to everybody. Instagram was the same. Instagram was amazing. You'd put up a picture and it would go out to just everybody and anybody. Now, obviously Facebook own it, but the bigger it got, what they had to do was try to manage individuals' feeds, because there's so much crap and clutter in there. So what it tries to do is work out what you would want to see. You know, so the chances of people seeing your pictures or your posts, if you're on Facebook, are a lot slimmer than there are on Snapchat. I mean, it just goes out to everybody. I mean, it's a different world because it's a new platform. What that means is utilize it while it's still amazing. You know, jump on there and just run with it. And there is just there's so much scope on that platform for sure. And it's also where a lot of younger people are, and they're of course going to be that is the lifeblood of the business. You know, they're always going to be, people are getting older, new people coming into it, you know. So you sign a bunch of college kids up and they just fly with this. It's a win.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, we agree. Yep. That Natalie Scott says he's the snap king. Scott be making some good snaps. So yeah, we be watching it. Scott snaps it up. But Natalie's huge on Snapchat and she got me into it. And I will tell you guys, it's definitely, it's there. And again, that's a whole nother video. But yeah, I mean, kind of what Dan said there. I mean, that's literally what it is. There is no algorithms to it. I get all my information algorithms wise. I have a couple friends that are big on social media as far as doing marketing for some of these bigger companies. I have a friend that's got a program that it's a software that really reads algorithms and breaks down weights, logistics and metrics down to everything. And I get a lot of inside information from them, as well as the blogs. There's a lot of blogs out there, but you've got to know what you're looking at. And you've got to know who has – it's just like anything else. I mean, I can be sitting here telling you one thing and this person can be telling you something else and this person can be telling you something else, but you've got to know which information to actually apply. And a lot of that, honestly, is when you work a business that is social media driven and you're reading different information from different people and you're trying different stuff, you start to see whose information actually does work And when it does, you start implementing everything that they start telling you, because it's crazy. You know, I've tried doing stuff out there from some of the people that I've found that they guarantee their results, and they sell these social media trainings and whatnot. And I'll implement some of their stuff, and I'm like, dude, like, I'm getting less interaction from what they were trying to implement. But then you've got other people out here, and there's other blogs and other people, and then you implement some of their stuff, and everything blows up. So that's just all with media-driven business. You're on it. Shit, we're on social media 14, 15, 16 hours a day. When that's what you're doing for a business, yeah, I mean, you kind of start to learn it. So again, that's why I definitely want to make sure that I always try to pass down any information that I know personally. But that's what I do. I mean, I'm real big on trying to figure out, because the algorithms are constantly changing, and we've got to change as a whole to really make sure that we're staying current with it. Because if we're not staying current with it, it's just like anything else. If your business is a business that is not changing, is a business that's dying. And you can't do stuff. You can't watch a Facebook video on algorithms from a year ago and expect the stuff from a year ago to be working today. You can't watch stuff on an algorithm that was shot in January and expect it to work today. That's how frequently they're changing. So, yeah, that's just, what's the best way to put it? Just go to my YouTube page. Just go to my. I've got stuff on there, and I stay current with it. So, but at the end of the day, guys, just post. Just work the business. Just if you're putting value in your post, and you're posting with quality, that is the key. You want to be consistent. Post. You just got to post. I feel like sometimes I'll go overboard, because it's a lot of information, and it can be very, very overwhelming. But at the end of the day, you've got to just post. You've got to find people that like your information and like your style of posting, and you've got to make your post suited to them. And it's that simple. And when you do that, you add value. And when you're adding value, people generally care about what you're saying. And that's the biggest thing. Just a big tip I will definitely tell, what Dan did kind of touch on. Guys, give your Facebooks an uplift. We're all on here on social media. Give your Facebooks an uplift. Cover photos, profile pictures. If you look, right when you pull up, if you look at that and you go, yeah, that doesn't look like somebody I would want to join in business, how can you expect other people to? It's got to be very, very – you want to make it attractive. You want to make it attractive. So other than that, Dan, do you have anything else?
I don't, mate. No. I think you hit the nail on the head. So.
All right. Perfect. Well, guys, I definitely appreciate everybody that jumped on here tonight. Same thing next week, 10 o'clock, 10:30. It all depends. Quentin Conway is supposed to be speaking next week. He said, I think he said it might be 10:30 would be whenever we're going to be starting. But either way, I'll make sure that I post that in the man cave. And other than that, if you guys have any other questions, don't ever hesitate to shoot me a message. I'm always here for you guys. And yeah, awesome Zoom. I appreciate it, Dan. I definitely appreciate it.
Hey, no, thanks everyone for jumping on.
Yeah, for sure. All right, guys. The recording will be posted as well. I'll definitely make sure I get that posted on my page, my YouTube page, and on the Man Cave. So,
good night, everybody.
Later, guys. Yeah.